focusing on the positives. Cause yesterday I was down, today I feel strong. Yes, His love in me heart. Dirty up my name a wrong tongue. I do them no wrong. Jaja happy back. And I shouting, whoa, Lord, I thankful. Whoa, Lord, I thankful. Is you who give me health and strength. Whoa, Lord, I thankful. Is you give me the handful. Every day you're blessing me. Only it and back and on. It's nothing we nature. Money in we pocket. This life I want love it. Only it and back and on. It's nothing we nature. Food on we table. I good than I ever. Think I jump from my way. I thankful for life. To see another sunrise. But you want up in the air. All the stress on your mind. Put them problems aside. And give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. And give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. I'm thankful. But be mindful. I'm so grateful. For a new day, for a new day. Hey, I'm thankful, I'm thankful, I'm thankful, Lord. Always be thankful.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. All praise is due to the Most High Creator for the opportunity to be here this morning with you all, for the opportunity of life. We give thanks for life, right? We are thankful for all of our many, many, many blessings. If we count our blessings, they're so numerous we might be unable to reach to the challenges that we have, right? So it really is a matter of perception. Sometimes the way we see things, do not suffer in perception, right? Live in reality. And the reality is that we are tremendously blessed. Tremendously blessed as a people. Tremendously blessed as our country and our space as well. Tremendously blessed as individuals. Whatever you are given, you have that responsibility to share. Right? If you have knowledge, then the responsibility of knowledge is to teach. Right? So we give thanks this Monday morning, and a lot going on as usual. You all know I am a person who enjoys more football tremendously. Thank God I chose to take a sweat yesterday instead of watching Trinidad play. I was on the road and I was paying attention to it, listening to the commentary. Somebody needs to do some commentary on football, like radio commentary. I have some people who try right now, but I mean, love and respect. Yeah, we need somebody to, or somebody's to try and train in that field, because it was difficult listening to, right? A tough day at the office for Trinidad and Tobago. We were properly beaten. I stopped watching. Well, I was never watching. I was listening and looking at the score online. And how much we get, boy? 5? Shambolic display by TNT. I have an interview lined up with Kevin Molino. I could probably get Levi Garcia as well. But I think after the next game, when we bounce back, God willing, then I will I'll take up the opportunity right now. Let them rest and recuperate. But just a whole different level of football when it comes to playing top teams. And America is a top team in our region. The MLS is a decent league, right? Yeah, certainly. It's probably in the top 10 leagues in the world. And, they are a big nation as well, producing endless players, a huge pool to choose from. But we have some serious challenges that we need to sort out. We have some tremendous challenges in our defensive area, like we were saying last day. Just to concede 5, I mean, even against tough opposition, leaves you with some thinking to do. All right, and of course, Dwight and Russell have a real challenge there. Anybody who's understanding is not upset or angry with them, but understands that, is an upward challenge, right? We have 2 other teams in the group that we are in who are not as strong as America, but certainly have some strength as well, right? So we'll see how we meet those challenges. We are powerful people. We have the capacity to succeed for sure. And I'm sure that the boys will go out and give it their best. But we have to be realistic as well and learn, right? The team has to learn very, very quickly. The team has to improve tremendously as well. And, we also look forward to maybe some new people coming in. I heard people talking about the rules having to change, right? The rules having to change for our ability to select individuals with grandparentage, that was Trinbagonian, as other countries do, to enable us to access a wider pool of players. Right, of course, our league, our domestic league as well, as good as it is that we have something going, we need to improve that as well so that we improve our local stock. Right, if we are professionals, we have to operate on a professional level. When Trinidad and Tobago was at its peak, the domestic league produced top clubs, and clubs like Defence Force, for example, which is still a powerhouse, but really tremendous in those days, were able to go on to win even our region's club cup competitions, right? That's how strong those teams were back in the day. So we have regressed in terms of our national game, and that is as a result of other factors not being in place. So we have to fix those things as well. It's not enough to just bring in Dwight and expect magic, or Russell, although they call him the magician, right? Let we be real. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Morning, Abu. How you going? Everything cool?
Yeah, everything cool, man.
Yeah, I feel, I'm telling you, what's going on with we footballers. We footballers playing with a fear, because what better ability that them have so more than we. Because come every time we meet the little better team, we can't play. And when we meet the lesser team, we pick star boy and all kind of things. Fear, they play with a fear. That's not just about no ability and wide up pool and all that. We play frightened football.
Right, that might be part of it, but Nana, if somebody playing, if somebody playing at the highest level at a professional club in Europe or wherever, he is going to be ready. When I tell you ready, it's a whole different level. Take it from somebody who really into football as well.
As a old footballer, so I could tell you.
Yeah, but
Don't get tired.
yeah.
Fear. It's come this sport. What the cricket too is the same thing. When they meet the white man team or the bigger team, and all of a sudden like they forget how to play.
Right.
There's a fear. When they conquer them, it's not about just ability because we have plenty of ability. But you see, I don't know how to describe it. You see, if you're a old footballer, you will know when you beat, sometimes you play in an area, and when they bring a man as a star boy from an next area, all the time all the men playing good, and when they bring one little star boy from an next area, and you're frightened, hey, look, Harry boy, Harry plays and he mash you up.
Yeah.
That he's better than you. That's what going on with the football.
But sometimes it is that he is better than you, eh? Football is advantage. Football is your ability, not only ability, but your fitness, it is repetition, it is muscle memory. So I saying that if an individual is playing at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
Which I know people who play at the highest level, it is a whole different dynamic. That is why when Levi comes into the team, when Levi is playing, you don't really see a difference between Levi and
he had the fear in him.
no, but it's not just the fear. It is training, it is professionalism, it is strength, it is constant repetition, playing at a different speed. It is a whole different.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But I know what you're talking about our fear as well, right? And that mental element of our game needs to also be improved.
At that time, nobody in the Caribbean or in America could have beat you.
Yeah. It was difficult to beat us.
So what was the standard,
Right, I'm telling you, the standard them days was higher as well. Right? And we had
no fear. Them get over the fear. So mind if they bring Starboy and think they get over the fear with me.
Yeah.
But we can't beat them back at the Caribbean. Imagine we can beat Guyana and we get to tail to beat them.
Yeah.
We should cut them tail long time. But them overtake the fear.
Yeah.
It's still in the fear. It's in the cricket, it's in the football, it's in the basketball, it's in all the sports. The sport are the bill. The fellas we are here better than them fellas out there. I know I'm telling you.
Right.
But you see, we just kind of keep them down when you bring a fella from outside. If I bring a fella from outside and I ain't winning with you, but I have to win with the local man. If we bring them, we have to win. Better we lost when we have down here and Paul that George.
Yeah.
Instead of 8-10, better the 8-10, we go get better slow. Then we bring in man and we sideline him, we boys and them here. And yeah, boy, that man playing in Manchester and he play with him, but when he come, he get licked still.
Right.
Better the 8-10, and we come out of the fear. We say, boy, we local boys get 10, boy. Now, boy, we got to have the receiving account. Then we bring in man, star boy all over the thing, and we get licked and the boys on the sideline get more destroyed. When you do put them on, they play good. You're a sportsman, you're supposed to know what sometimes when you have a man on the bench there, and he's better than everyone, but because he ain't like, he have a little attitude or something. When you put him on in a final or something, and you see where he is, then you know he's good. But sometimes it's too late.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
To conquer the fear.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Yeah. Blessings. I know what you call talking about, right? And yes, there's a serious issue sometimes, the fear and intimidation that another team may have on you, right? But again, if you are accustomed playing at the highest level as well, it has less impact on you, because you would probably play against some of those individuals already. You would have weighed up yourself against them, and you would have trained with individuals on that level, so you would feel much more comfortable. The speed that the game is being played at internationally, and of course it has a lot to do with fitness as well, is phenomenal. And in order to cope with that, you have to be ready. And a lot of the players that we have on our teams are not playing at the highest level. So it'll be challenging for them. It's just reality. You know, I think we did exceptionally well against Costa Rica still. But the US is a different ball game as well. And as we meet other teams who are stronger, whatever weaknesses we have will be showed up. Right? Once you put on a red, white, and black, it ain't no local or foreign, right? You're Trinbagonian, and you represent us as well. I would like to think that fair opportunity is generally given to everyone. And if somebody come from abroad into the team and they can't perform or they're not performing, then, you know, somebody else will replace them. All right? Again, locally as well, if you play locally in Trinidad and Tobago, yes, there are some exceptional players. Yes, there are a couple teams who perform at a decent level, right? But you really have to do a lot to get yourself prepared for that step further. Right? Dwight was not Dwight York because Dwight was just talented. Yes, he was exceptionally gifted. But I remember as a young man seeing Dwight work. When I tell you work, I see Dwight doing finishing, I think it's after a game in the Oval. All your madness, I tell you all you, if I'm not mistaken. Dwight doing finishing after a game. And I talking about a good 30-minute session after training or whatever. I think it was after training. After a game is ridiculous. But he was that ridiculous as well as a professional. Exceptional professional, which you could see up to today as well. The man still fit. The man still disciplined in that way. Whatever he did off the pitch, he never let it interrupt what he did on the pitch. The amount of runs that York used to make for Manchester, don't get tied up. Don't get tied up. It's not just like that. It is not just like that. Alright, and you know, we need to do some work. So blessings to the Trinidad and Tobago team. Blessings to everybody, right? And we keep soldiering on. Pick up your heads and go forward. Yesterday was the day that they call Father's Day, right? Every day is Father's Day for me. Every day is Father's Day for Trinbagonians, because we had to do that job every day, right? It is the most important job that a man can ever have, right? You are responsible for another human being, you know, shaping another human being. Yes, providing, protecting, maintaining, but shaping another human being. And I am going to the beach yesterday with my children, and so okay, we'll play some soca or whatever music, right? That they know because come on, they're involved and they're living in Trinidad and Tobago, they will hear it. And once children hear something, they will pick it up, right? So be careful where your children are. Be careful with the spaces that you leave your children in. And I say, hey, right, purposefully, right, let me play some Bob Marley. Because we have to consciously put what we want into our children. This is not a just leave it to the elements. Right? This is not a mango tree you're planting, right? Where you just throw the seed, or if you go so far to bury the seed or whatever, you plant it, or you tie the plant and you just plant it, and then you just leave it to the elements. A child is not a mango tree. Right? A child is more, what have I cared for and pruned? Right? Some fine plant. So you have to consciously put into that child. You have to consciously shape that child. So I say, hey, here what's going on? My mind, I say, right, let me play some Bob Marley, let me play some conscious, a sizzler coming there somewhere. What else coming there? Maybe a little country music. Exceptional substance for them to be shaped in a positive way. And then I asked them, I say, anybody know this music? Anybody know? And my eldest daughter said, yeah, that's Bob Marley. I say, if you could sing a line in the song, you're getting $10. And, well, she struggled. But we have to shape our children. We have to shape our Caribbean children. We have to shape our culture purposefully. Because there are people who are shaping our culture purposefully in a negative way. When we just leave it to whoever else, when we give up that responsibility, when we abscond from that important role, somebody who does not have the interest of your family, of your children at heart, fills that gap and takes your children away from you. When I say take the mind, if you take somebody's mind, the body will follow. The actions are going to align with their mind. So, yeah, wherever we celebrated, wherever Father's Day, blah, 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 right? If you did not consciously, as a father, think about it, then take the opportunity now to think about how you want to shape the mind of your children. Be there for your children. Don't leave it to nobody else. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave it to the mother. Respect and big up to all the mothers, right? But what a mother could do, she could do. But there are some things that you have to do. Your children are literally a continuation of yourself. And if you put forward to them your good self, if you improve yourself, you will improve you in the next generation. Children by DNA and also by example mirror you. Yes, they have their own personality. I'm not sure about mind. We say children have their own mind. I ain't even sure about that one. But if you invest in the best investment that you can make in your children, you will reap the rewards. So let us be conscious with the example that we set in. I just pull up the news because I was going to go through the news as well. And of course, the Prime Minister would have made a statement on Father's Day, right? Very important. Fatherhood is one of life's most sacred responsibilities. Fatherhood is not defined only by biology, but by presence, sacrifice, leadership, and love. A father's influence in a child's life is immeasurable. It lays the foundation for emotional strength, self-worth, and discipline, and by extension, for building strong, respectful, and productive citizens. We have to be good fathers to our children if we are going to lift our society, if we are going to pick up ourselves as a nation, then we need good fathers to step up. So regardless of whatever your situation is with the mother of your child or whatever, make sure that you are there for your children. That is of much less importance than this responsibility between yourself and your offspring. So be there, no matter what. No matter what, even if because of some issue at a point in time you had to love from a distance, whatever, still find ways to be there. A conversation, time makes so much of a difference. Sometimes we're running down money and material things that we think we want to give others, or maybe for our selfish self, right? Tap into the joy that you can achieve and get from just an interaction with your children. We taking the most important things for granted, and we grabbing and grasping and running down things that ultimately make little sense. What is the point in giving a child some big toy or some kind of thing if you would not spend the time to play with them? What is the point? It's better you make a little paper kite out of a copybook page and wherever you have cookie or whatever. Better you sit down, you make that with a child, and you go and fly it with them, and you enjoy that experience. Then you work, you go, you buy some big mad bull, and then you don't have the time to put it together or to go with your child to fly that kite. Let us think it over. Let us think it over. Right? Don't change the station this morning, fathers. I'm not showing anybody up or anything like that. But sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we were not given that level of, love and fathering. So now we have to step up and correct the mistakes of the past. And that's what we called on to do today. We called on to correct whatever shortcomings existed in the past. That's the level of man that we need now. And then we also have to recognize and continue the good things that were done. Right? Because we take things for granted. I think I may have taken certain things not for granted, but it didn't register how important it was. Simple things. But some things did register, so. And I repeat, for people who don't know, if it's one thing my father would always do, Or let wake up, come, let we go in the beach. And if we only know it's a Sunday, or we know that we know it there, we know it's beach. And I enjoyed the beach as a child tremendously. Look how blessed we are. You're living in Trinidad and Tobago and you ain't go to the beach in months? What you doing? What you doing? Everything costs a little bit. Right? And if it's pressure, it's pressure. But when you get the chance, put aside the little smalls. Put aside the little smalls. You don't really need a new pair of clothes or some kind of thing. You could eat a little humble. Right? And put aside a little thing, and then your son or your daughter, whoever, are coming to pick up whoever, please, right? I know I ain't coming 10 years or 10 days or whatever, right? I want to take them to the beach. They mightn't even trust you. First you're absent long, but work it out. Let them come with you. And have that experience. Spend that time. Talk with your children. Talk with them. How they going to learn to have conversations? Only with their friends? Step them up a level by speaking to an adult. And try to be a sensible adult when you're speaking to them, right? Try to understand that you are an adult and you're speaking to a child, and it should be a certain type of conversation as well. Not way up there, yes, but still in a certain manner and respectful as well. Big up to all the teachers, the male teachers and the male role models in Trinidad and Tobago who set that positive example for our young men to follow, who are fathers to children who are not their children. Big up all the uncles and everybody, who fulfilling that responsibility. If you mess up and some other man holding a strain and doing a good job, boy, thank God. Thank God. And pick up yourself and try and do what you could do. And it is not about money. Yes, you have to provide. Yes, you have to try your best, etc. But the real emphasis, the real important part, the children not going to hold you to account for just provision. And children could be extremely simple if you raise them in a simple way. On the contrary, if you set a bad example and you allow them to be fussy and this and that and whatever, you're going to have problems as well. So, I could not mention, blessings, happy Father's Day to everybody. All the fathers and father figures and everybody, all the men. We are called to a important responsibility to set our country straight. And a big part of it lies with us as men, as fathers. It's challenging just with your children. Do your job. And as much as possible, extend yourself as well to other children, because there are so many men, so many fathers who are missing. Right? So love and respect. We'll take the break and then we'll be back.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Don't miss June savings at Furniture Plus. Get up to 50% off shop appliances, furniture, electronics, mattresses, and more. Buy now, pay later with affordable higher purchase plans. Plus, earn Caribbean Airlines. Travel miles with your purchase. Visit any Furniture Plus stores or shop online.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
TNT, get ready, get hungry, and get to the hut because it's lunchtime. From pizzas to pastas, breadsticks to cinnamon rolls, Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat lunch buffet is all yours for only $55. Sundays to Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and extended to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Check socials for info on selected locations nationwide and take your hunger to the hut. Pizza Hut. Now that's delivering.
I
there, I'm Lester Suklal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Whoever said messy was a bad thing totally missed the point. Take that hit song everyone loves now. It probably started like this. Baby, calm down. That's why KFC is celebrating the messy moments with our Messy Cruncher and Messy Zinger sandwiches for only $34.95. Imagine a crunchy, golden brown, flavorful chicken sandwich sauced to perfection with our signature sweet, spicy, tangy sauces. Oh boy. So crunch into the deliciously messy moments today. Check socials for details. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. I barely swallow my banana there, boy. So I hope that for everybody who's listening, you have a wholesome breakfast, right? I know that there are challenges. I know that people going through it, right? And because we are not faced by certain challenges, doesn't mean that we can't be understanding that other people have different realities. One of the most important characteristics is to be empathetic, right? To understand what other people face. And it is essential for a leader to be empathetic, to have that understanding of others, not to just be wrapped up in your own bubble, no. Not just to be wrapped up in yourself, so much so that you cannot relate to other people. And I say that to say because, you know, we switch gears and we deal with current events and stuff as well. 342008146653991. I attended Parliament on Friday. I almost forget I'm in Parliament and I go to hail one or two of my partners on the government bench, right? Actually, Tobago is seated to the right corner of the government bench, and where I was in the viewing gallery. You know, at some point, if you have time, you know, go to the Parliament and understand what is taking place as well. Take a look. Our money spent to build extravagant, in my opinion, building. So you should, as a citizen, partake as well. Take a look. Go and enjoy. Ever so often they have art exhibitions. It is a public space. Public funds paid for it. And don't feel excluded. Exclusion is a real serious issue when it comes to governance as well. You know, this opinion, this view sometimes that whoever becomes government or whatever, they are, you know, somewhere above us as a people. When really we need to understand and remember that they are doing our job and they are supposed to be representing us. And this goes across the board. Stay in check. Stay in check. Stay in touch. Right? Nobody in die and may call a king. There are no kings and queens. So, you know, I attended and I almost hailed out my partner from Tobago in the corner because he was close. Then I remember who shoot in Parliament, right? I guess that the fear the caller was talking about before that we have when we in certain spaces and places with others. I don't know what fear is, right? And if it comes anywhere, I dismiss it very, very quickly as love. But you have to have decorum and behavior as well. So, and I was listening to a little part of the discussions. Of course, you all know now that we unanimously have chosen a police commissioner, right? The Police Service Commission, an independent body which is charged with our responsibility to choose based on certain criteria, ability, training, selection process goes by that, right? They came up with a list of people in order of who scored the highest. And this is what has been taking place for a little while. Of course, some people have been usurping the merit list. When people on top, they don't want them, they change, they find all kind, right? But that has not been the case with this government. And this government went by the first pick of the merit list. The first person who on top the list, Mr. Guerrero, or, Guerrero or something. I don't even know him as somebody popular in the police service. There are some more popular names. So the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Meister, maybe is a more popular name. But both government and opposition went ahead to confirm that individual. And that's a good sign. That's a good sign that the problems of the past, somebody different, and they don't want this one because the government could have rejected that as an option, him as an option, and gone on to someone else. Could have had that level of, if you want to call it, interference. But why would our government want to interfere with who the police commissioner is? It have some issues we have had in the past, some serious issues. And, it's good to see that we don't have those issues. We might have other little issues. We don't expect government to be perfect, but we don't have that issue. And then, I was amused by some of the statements of Port of Spain, South's MP. Go ahead, caller. Morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yes, thanks again. I'm happy to hear you emphasize the importance of respecting the independent institutions, such as the Police Service Commission, the Public Service Commission, and not to appear to ride roughshod over their decisions, right? And not threatening to dismantle those independent institutions as happened over the last couple of years. We live in a democracy, and those institutions that were set up by the Constitution ought to be respected. Something I looked at over the weekend, I know that the new police commissioner hasn't yet taken charge, but I'm hearing from myself, Deputy Commissioner Meister, I think, acting, about some plans for Caroni.
Right.
Right. But that resembled, because on I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I listened to the spending review in the United Kingdom with Rachel Reeves, and I heard mention of this neighborhood policing team and all that, and all the plans with respect to how they do policing in America, in England, as a matter of fact. And it was instructed to know that that plan resembles closely what applies there, and there's nothing wrong with looking to other countries for
guidance
and whatnot.
Yeah, or good example.
The question, best practice.
Yeah.
The question of interdependence. We often speak about globalization and whatnot. So we benefit from the ideas of others, right? And it's good to know that they may have gone there and looked at it. But all I'm asking, that when you implement with Mr. Meister, because they have a way when they put policy in place and put plans, after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, they abandon it. These things must be sustained. They must be sustainable. You have to keep these things going.
Yeah.
You evaluate it and you make certain changes over time, but you're not going to deal with crime unless you sustain
those efforts.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need that. So I'm watching at it, and you put it in this place, Karoni, but you need it in Tunapuna. You need it in those high crime areas. You need visibility, because I go through what he said, and it is on the you could get it, you could Google it, neighborhood police in UK, and you get everything. And if you listen to what Meister was saying, is almost the same, and that is good.
Yeah.
That you don't believe that you could do everything and you have all the ideas. No. This is why we have interdependence, we have globalization, because we learn from each other. Medicine, you talk about law. When we talk about law, we talk about the jurisprudence. Caribbean jurisprudence hasn't really developed to the extent that where we can rely on. But we go to England, we go to other Commonwealth country, Australia, we go to Canada, right? And we build on their jurisprudence. And people have to understand that you're not the world. And this is the thing that I believe that certain intellectuals and politicians try to make the people believe that they are the world. Trinidad is not the world.
Yeah.
Trinidad is part of the whole, not the world.
Yeah.
And you're still dependent on other countries.
The same problems we have now, other people have faced it successfully and have overcome them.
Right. And I just want to say one thing with respect to when you spoke about the history and politics. It is very important that people, what they did is to drive the people away from history. They don't know their history, so you know their past. I think you explained it quite well on the last occasion. And history is very critical, because you need to know where you were, because it informs the future where you are today.
Correct.
But it has to be dealt with in a critical way, a critical thinking. You have to embrace that, right? And to understand where you are today, and also think in terms of where you want to go. But what they did is to make people disinterested. They thought, no history. And they don't even, nobody's producing, nobody at the university is writing anything. The contemporary history of Trinidad and Tobago, you don't know what happened between 1962 and present day. There's no record, you can't find it in any document, any book or anything. The last piece of writing I saw was that by Brereton, I think 1783 to 1962. Substantive. Right. Nothing else. The politics, they try to keep them away from the politics, but if they understand the importance of understanding, that's your life. Decisions are made by the politicians that affect whether you come out your house, you go out, you saw the state of emergency. The curfew, politicians do these things. But the drugs that I heard last night, they spoke about where one company, you had to pay high prices for your medication, because and they're making profits, all kind of $190-something million profit, while you can't get they change the medication, they do all kind of things. The politicians do that.
Yeah.
So people, you need to understand your history. You need to become more involved in the politics of your country, right? And one last thing I want to say with respect to my standard plan, you people have to, we as a community need to walk behind my son them and insist that they implement the thing that is in our interest, because none of us is immune to criminal behavior and crime as a whole.
Correct.
All right? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, if we are still at a point where we tell ourselves that politics is not important to us, we are lost still. And our non-activity in the sphere leaves us in a position where we are underserved, underrepresented, and taken advantage of. So pay attention to what matters to you. It matters who a police commissioner is. Because if you get a fair police commissioner who encourages fairness and true justice throughout the police service, you will have better interaction with these people who in gray and blue and whatever, who pulling you over, you will have a better interaction. You will have a better service. Are we speaking about police reform? Because it is desperately needed. Are we speaking about a service that is trained to provide a service? Because we are subjected to them. They have authority over us. Pay attention, Trinidad and Tobago. Pay attention. Right, so it was good. It's good to see a substantive police commissioner very soon. It's good to see a substantive deputy police commissioner as well. There's not nobody acting. And it is good to see that based on merit, this merit list or whatever, that people have been chosen based on merit. We need a society as well that is based on merit, where people work and are allowed to achieve. Go ahead, my brother. Morning again.
Morning, Mr. Man. I observed something. I know if you observed it. This government trying their best to bring back this country to the end, because you're asking fairness. I ain't saying they're perfect, but from way it had before with that fella called Keith Rowley, it was total evil. Evil, you know. Check it different. Now we know the thing in it, but you could see this government trying to bring back this country. I ain't trying to be biased or not, you know. But Keith Rowley, that particular individual, was a very evil fella to this nation.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that we're missing the point. Yeah, why we missing the point? Just check how they're going about their business. They're not perfect, you know, but you can see they're trying to bring back fairness and integrity.
Yeah.
And when they studied the last region with Rowley and Still Young and all of them with the foolishness, something was definitely wrong, you know. But at that point in time, we were saying, like, it's not a God for this nation, you know. But it really have a God, boy.
Yeah, at that point in time when we say God is a Trini, but like he changed his passport.
And once we say what God does work in mysterious ways, you know why? He watch and he patient and patient. And when he attacked the Rowley fella, Rowley, you know, hit him. He turned the whole thing upside down, you know.
I see.
But I feel they will bring back.
I see Paul across, you know, all the time he never used to wear no religious emblem or nothing. I see after he get a licks, he sit down for something he sit down for, and he have on a gold cross. He make sure and put the pendant outside.
But how, besides the 1% and the thing where they want to say where he influenced, how he so evil, boy. I'm a little black man from Tobago. We achieve all this thing, and how he's so evil. And to turn all these people mind. I mean to say, because if you watch the rest of politicians and them, all of a sudden, when they cut off his head and he all of them, they are kind of freed up now to kind of be themselves in whoever way. They're still wicked and things too, you know, but they're not like he, boy. He better, boy. He better bad. I hope he family and them. I sit down and I try to assess this man, boy. And when I watch him on face, when I watch him face, you see it in him, boy.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know, boy. I hope this government going on the right track for me, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hope they continue, because the way how the elder fella and how they put Colin in both like a little puppy dog lying in the parliament, if you're already there.
Yeah.
When I had a kick, he's going to get kicked out of the parliament, you know. He looked so bad, boy. All right on the spot. They had to pull you up and say, boy, you're lying, boy. I'm talking, boy, you know, man.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different thing going on in this parliament with me, you know. Them fellas come to do good, boy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, man, later. Yeah, so, and he's right in front of me on the news here, trying to bring, well, say that there will be a failure to run the country because the new finance minister will not be able to raise the revenue. And the way that Imbert planned to raise the revenue was to tax we. So he's trying to say now that Tanku, because they have rolled back certain taxes, because they have rolled back this TTRA as well, this new revenue authority, which was spoken about being very, very challenging to workers, which was spoken about being very, very challenging to small, like micro business, you know, and the level of taxation that Mr. Imbert brought to Trinidad and Tobago and intended, the decrease in subsidies. Pay attention, politics affects your everyday life. It affects how much gasoline is going to cost by the pump. It affects, like we say, if you could leave your house or not. Because that's how far a government can have to go or may go. Sometimes it's not even justified, you know. Sometimes there's a difference of opinion, but based on your government, they could decide. That is the power that we supposedly give them through this process, whether you could come out of your house or not. If you could get bail for something that somebody set you up with, for example. The tone of your country, whether you feel inspired because you feel respected, whether you feel in your society there's merit, so it makes sense to keep working hard, or you just seeing his friend and his bias and, you know, you are demotivated. Let us understand how important it is. So, you know, when Butch is trying to see that Tanku living in La La Land and he wouldn't raise enough revenue through taxes, because that is Imbert's claim to fame, right? He's tax, he's IMF. I spell Imbert IMFBERT, right? Hardship. 10 years of hardship. And I have to agree wholeheartedly with our Prime Minister when she said to them, you know, that is why you all are on the opposition benches now. Because you're out of touch. You didn't listen to the people. You don't even care. And yes, we look forward to changes. And then we also have Mr. Tanku saying, the finance minister now, that they will pursue those who evade in tax. And when you say tax evasion, you're not talking about no little person who Imbert was trying to trap in the web if you selling juice on the side of the road, or if you are a small vendor or some kind of thing. This is what this man was trying to trap in a tax web, you know. Because the small man, in their mind, had to pay for the big man. Just the same way they enjoy themselves, because he's a big man, you know. Don't mind he's short and small. Big boy. We had to pay for them to be rich and to enjoy a lavish life. And then you have the contrast. Our current Prime Minister coming and saying to her own government, hey, it's no freeloading of the state and house because all they live in wherever, in town and all kind of thing, you know. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Chalk and cheese. And nobody can tell me that all you prefer to eat chalk because it come in a red wrapper. You know, it used to have the cheese in red wax, however. Okay. But it's chalk in that red wax now, you know. Not now. Chalk. All I prefer to eat chalk. Well, that is you. I would beg to advance that the majority of Trinidad and Tobago would much prefer cheese in a yellow wrapper than chalk in a red wrapper. Morning again, brother.
Sorry to be badgering.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't really take Imber and those people seriously, you know, because I think it's time for these people to leave politics.
Agreed.
And I don't know why people tend to want to, you know, perpetuate those people's office and that kind of thing. If I evaluate the man's performance for the last 10 years, a disaster.
Yeah.
If anybody have any understanding about economics, realize that this economy is in a black hole.
Yeah.
Totally destroyed.
Totally.
People must understand that. This is the same man who say, well, look, we go make the unions and then employers and all kind of thing, and we could do that. A close down gas and all that. You have matter with respect to the council, with respect to the Ministry of Finance and what the recommendation of the lady Pamela, what should be done. I don't think that this Minister of Finance, if he had the opportunity, I don't know if he would have been given that opportunity, because I don't know him to be an economist, and I don't know whether putting persons who are not experts in a particular field to run, probably operate as a doctor, operate as an economist in terms of managing the economy, whether that is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Even though the philosophy is one that all you need is a level head and common sense. I don't subscribe to that. And progressive thinking people don't propose to that. Mm-hmm. You have to have some expertise, you have to have knowledge, and the economy is where it is today.
Yeah.
And then what they do, they take these politicians, they take their money, the pension, the whatever it is, the increase in salary and all that kind of thing. They're gone, and then they're telling the incumbent, hey, listen, the new government, let me see what you could do. They create the mess and saying, well, look, you can't do that. I want to see how you will make out. I mean, these people have the temerity, the gall.
Yeah, the gall. The gall is the word that comes to mind.
And then you tell them, let me see how you're going to make it out. You can't make it, you know.
Yeah.
You can't run this. You can't get the money here. You can't do this. You can't do that. After they create a mess of the economy in a black hole.
Yeah.
And these people now, the new government, has to struggle now to find ways and means to access revenue in order to keep the economy going. And what they're going about, I heard one day, they were all about the tongue, trying to rile up the people. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And the fact remains is that you need the government, as a matter of fact, they're going to get again, something I read yesterday again on the newspaper with respect to this EP and where and I think it's EOG and whatnot. Well, they have some oil and gas that would be coming onto the market.
Yeah, coming on stream, yeah.
And that should help. God, they say God does wear pajama, they say, and they say don't sleep.
Yeah.
Well, this is what you want in this country is astute management of the economy and astute management of the society and the country as a whole, right? And I expect. I'm not saying that I don't know. I'm giving them some time to do what they have to do. I see they well intent, but to get things right. But I'm saying that those people, I don't know what happened to them, and they seem to be at cross purposes with the leader. You know, the leader I heard on Saturday saying one thing, and they're saying something. They're still steep in the old ways.
Yeah.
Going into Parliament and start to behave just as they behaved in the last 10 years, but they were shocked. Because they didn't expect to meet a speaker like Jack Dilsing, a very experienced attorney, right? Yeah. One who is quite knowledgeable and quite steep in legal theory, to take care of them. But I'm saying that they have to change their ways, as the leader told them. They have to change their ways and go on inside the parliament there and start to throw pink papers in the air. Out of here! We out of that nonsense ain't go on again.
Yeah.
That kind of antics.
People will see it as it is, and Penny would do good to get rid of some of these heavy.
Change the ways that she told them, change that behavior.
Heavy.
You believe the same speaker you had there for the last 10 years is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
You had to come good.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that you can't create your mess and then walk back and say you get your money and you go on your way. You live in life and you can't do this, but it will be done. It is you have to continue with your deficit budget for how long it is, because you mean your revenue have to meet your expenditure. If you can't meet your expended revenue, you have to engage in borrowing. If that is it, so be it.
Yeah.
But one point I want to make, where the people of Trinidad and Tobago have suffered for the last 10 years, you cannot put any measure in place that would perpetuate or continue
hardship.
That kind of suffering,
or
that hardship, as you rightly say.
Yeah.
The people need to breathe, just as you didn't need to breathe, But you take your money and you go and you take everything and go on. But this is their time now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. No, remember, them alone need to breathe, It's only Imbert and they need to breathe and to live. Everybody else could catch their tail and dead. Right? Apparently that is the philosophy that exists. Right? Those at the bottom, the poor had to stay poor, the rich had to get richer. Right? That is the elitist mentality that was properly rejected by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. 3420081466539. But we got a new caller now, Trinidad and Tobago. We try to extend the program as far as possible to the listening ears of our population. It is worth listening to, I think. All right? It's worth listening to. We are not a stupid people. And yes, it have a time for bacchanal and lacquery and dotishness, but there's a time to think. There's a time to have constructive speech. We can't party all day and all night and next day and next night, right? We could party day and night one day. So on a morning as you make your way to work, on a morning as you getting ready, on a morning if you are home, right, in your business places, tune in, listen to something with substance and be part of a conversation that makes sense. We understanding our lives. These are things that affect our everyday life. And we have, as we discussing, a government that is geared towards not adding hardship on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. They are sensitive to what the population faces. So no taxes, no new taxes. Go ahead.
Yeah, Grand Rising and peace be upon you, my brother.
Hey, same to you, brother. Blessings.
Yes, sir. Nobody really wants to hear me saying good again,
Agreed.
Yes, fellas like you cause the PNM government a loss.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine you get up and you saying, I raise gas once. Nobody say nothing. I raise it twice. And then in riot yet. You see, from the time you say that, they probably had fire here. PNM would have been still in power. You understand?
I don't know about that. They'd have to do more than that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I hear it. I know nothing about the rich how they get richer for this.
You would have had a fire yourself and all, long time.
Well, that's the whole thing. If they had put Penny up there a long time and he stepped down. I mean, we just want to see the country go right, and I believe now, with our new dispensation and Ms. Kamala Prasad, because that's the honorable, I believe we'll get that. Because you see, sometimes we learn the first rounds, and second rounds we come out stronger. As long as you're not pandering to no we call financials, because them have a one-track mind, them on greed and them on money.
Correct.
You gotta see body people. And again, I say, a mother doesn't discriminate between her children, And we've seen that now. And, you know, all the people will be happy. Trust me. They say when you're and everybody in, we're trying to show that. And you just say they shouldn't take no nonsense from our people. Anybody make them kind of total statements like we come out of the last leadership, then go one time. She shouldn't joke with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure, brother.
You too. Morning, brother. Welcome.
Hi, man. Morning to you listeners. You know, if I had no way I hit you out the whole of the Martin and let them go somewhere on the ocean to sail. Because after, in the face of all that Timbert did to the entire nation while he was the Minister of Finance, he is trying to justify what they did by speaking about something between the years of 2010 to 2015. You all didn't make it a criminal offense for our government to rent out empty buildings. But you come in to talk now about a building that was rented and never used. And then went even further by doing it more. Now I'm asking people, where did these people look at what they enjoy and try to put it back? Not once. Not once. Every time when you're coming on the platform and talking down to the nation, while trying to get into people's pockets. But they didn't see it as a problem for trying to be renting places and not using it. All these refusals out of cabinet meetings for ministers and ministers' family to benefit. And all they didn't see no problem with that ever. This is my message to all the PNM supporters and the PNM fanatics. All I Pastor Google and them. All they really have no conscience at all. None whatsoever. And according to client like that, they have the gall now to put up hotline to see who was victimized. Boy, these people and them have to be sick in the head. Sick in the head.
Yeah.
If I had my way, I had out they go mountain and to float out in the sea. And all the life would run that because they didn't see no problem with bringing back this fool.
Hey, I live in Diego Martin. I live in Diego Martin as well. I didn't vote in Diego Martin. God, don't send me with Imbert now. Please don't send me with Imbert.
Everybody have the option. Everybody have the option to leave it and come, you know. But we held it out for whoever wants to go with him. Let them go with him.
All right. Well, if it's with
it has to be ridiculous.
If it's with Imbert, I'll have to give up Diego Martin. I'll give up my whole house in Diego Martin just not to go with Imbert.
Yeah, boy, and I do. You can understand that. That is their defense, trying to justify what was done from 2010 to 2015.
Yeah.
That is their defense. He's supposed to be able to come and say, no, well, yeah, I'm wrong. This is not what we did. You understand? But you can't say that. You come in to talk about what happened in 2010 to 2015. Or look at that, make it a criminal offense.
Yeah.
Or look at that, put something in place so persons pay a price. But no. All you did more than what was done and broaden the scope so that all you could enjoy that rubbish on the back of taxpayers.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Morning, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, blessed morning.
Blessed morning
I'm
to you too. I did.
Chris,
what going on?
make a crash landing, man. I did. Before I take into the parliament, you see Colombo is a seasoned politician. You need objective standard, what and standard, this and standard. You go in all kind of standard.
Politician.
I'm a former MP, Skip Scotland.
Yeah.
He telling the Honorable Saddam Hussein, lead the plan and me Lavanti.
Nah, he said,
they didn't have no sense.
He said Port of Spain South. He said stay out of Port of Spain South.
Port of Spain South. Stay out of Port of Spain South, yeah.
Yeah, who live in Port of Spain South?
We don't have proper schools.
Let me tell you something. If they make the mistake and put Scotland back up again in Port of Spain South next election, sorry.
There's something to be wrong with them.
Sorry.
You wasn't even to be there.
But we go cook him. When I tell you we go cook him, he lucky this wrongs that remember the resources just wasn't there to extend ourselves throughout. You understand? It was tough. So you had to focus in certain areas. But here I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Here I'm telling you. We made inroads with, the COP candidate was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
Wait now, man. We
read this also. We tell you and sister we for Port of Spain South. We do first Port of Spain South for the last 9 years.
Listen.
Back up.
It's a local government election next year. Wait and you will see what will happen with Port of Spain. Wait and you will see. Those studies.
I love to understand. Skip Scotland Hall. We coming along down there. We make like down in the Port of Spain South. Bless.
Yeah, man. I listened to him good. I actually happened to be in Parliament at that exact point in time when he was directed by the Speaker of the House to apologize to Saddam Hussein, because he telling Saddam Hussein, don't send your people into Port of Spain South. I don't know what he's talking about, but the people of Port of Spain South, Keith Scotland, Mr. Keith Scotland, right? Again, your respect. They don't want no part of you. And let me be real, you don't really want no part of them. Just stop the facade. You're a part of Parliament. You're a part of government. You're a part of wherever, but I mean, come on. Go back to your private practice now, brother. You know you're a decent lawyer. Right? I give you that. Go back to the courtroom. But in terms of representing people, you probably one of the most out of touch. I think you went to out of touch school with Imbert. Or they spent summers in out of touch school. It's just not for you. And be sure, right, Ole? Be sure next year for local government elections, we coming for you. We coming for Port of Spain. Because the people want to be free. Free of that. And if we continue along the path that we're going right now, who want any part of Imbert and Keith Scotland and who else there? Marvelous. Who any part of that? Abject failure. Few exceptions exist. Miss Beckles would do well to cleanse herself of the stain of some of y'all. Because oil and water don't really mix too much. Right? We come in for Port of Spain. I ain't asking you. We are telling you. Get out while you can get out, brother. Because it would be a extreme embarrassment when you lose Port of Spain. Right? The people of Trinidad and Tobago don't want our politics to all you bring. We don't want that. We want peace. We want love. We want forward progression. We don't want more hardship. Who voting for hardship, boy? The only people voting for hardship is people who really don't understand still. And every day, that number diminishing. As we look on at, wait now, look, the Prime Minister now do this and fix this. Wait now, this was the problem before. As we look on, and it's early days, a month and whatever, as we look on at the changes and the different style in leadership, it just shows up the ugly that existed. It shows up the ugly that existed. And we see across other institutions in Trinidad and Tobago certain leadership that is less than what we desire as a people being shown up. Being shown up. That trend, that culture. Let us free ourselves. Let we uplift our nation again. Let we put back some love in Trinidad and Tobago. Let we clean out with blood. Let we clean our blood, Trinidad and Tobago, and get going, get going again. So, boy, and I listening and I laughing, I was wondering if he looked up in the gallery and he saw me now, because all of a sudden he talking about Mr. Scotland, that is about those senior people in Port of Spain, you know? Garbage. Good morning, caller. Morning. Morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning,
to you.
Mr. Swordback.
Yeah.
I saw where the PM, Kamala, stopped the new $100 bill. And I am only hoping she is not going to include the TASA on it, because that was their argument when they removed the Columbus ships. And I am saying the TASA was never invented here. It was the steel pan. So I am waiting to see what they're going to put on that new $100 bill, because that will be wrong. We never invented the TASA here. It was the steel pan, and the steel pan is what should be there on our $100 bill. And the next point, that new commissioner of police, I want to wish him all the best. But as he go in office, he have a rogue police officer to deal with in the situation with the Southeast fight. Because I'm seeing on Ian Allen program where the mother of the girl who was beaten and sent to the Port of Spain General Hospital is saying she's getting death threats from a relative of one of the girls who is a police officer. Mr. Commissioner of Police, you're going to have a rough start, because that policewoman needs to be dealt with. I saw that interview outside Sinclair Police Station with Ian Allen. It was terrible to hear that woman have to sleep 2 days in Sinclair Police Station. I never know Sinclair Police Station had accommodation. 2 days because she couldn't go up Gonzales. And this what is be saying. African people like to be attacking and shooting and robbing their own people. All you need to get serious and stop it. You ain't seen all the race fighting and robbing the people. Only the African man. All you get alive. Have a blessed morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. Listen, I don't know them and us, right? So I don't know who is them, and I really don't know who is us. But I will speculate that you're speaking about, I don't know, UNC or something, and PNM. And I will just advance to you that there's so many Afro-Trinbagonians who, you know, support and are part of the UNC. And likewise, there's so many East Indian Trinbagonians who support and are part of, actually an integral part of the PNM. If you didn't know, now you know, right? The East Indian and the PNM is absolutely powerful as financiers, the big boys, right? All you know all yourself, them big Sawati, from all the denominations of religious groups, have a solid control on the PNM. It's not just now the Syrian and the Chinese big, is the 1%. And 1% don't have no race. I mean, it hardly have 1% African, because pressure. So get together now. Get together, right? And if the dollar or the quota arms or whatever have some other musical instrument or something on it, what was the big deal? What is the big deal? What are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? Because I fighting for meritocracy in the society. I fighting for equal rights and respect to all. What are you fighting for? You could eat the steel pan on the dollar? Come on now, let me think now. Let we think in that old way that we stuck in. Let we lift ourselves above that. Let we lift ourselves above that. I love my Afro-Trinbagonian people more than any single one of them who sit down inside of there saying they's PNM. More than Penny and all. I telling all of that. But what are you really fighting for? What you fighting about? Aren't we all benefiting from a police commissioner who, regardless of race or whatever, was selected because he on top of the merit list? That's what we want. Aren't we all benefiting when we have no tax, no property tax? Even if you don't have a property and you're renting, you're benefiting because the owner of the property won't pass on to you the rental cost. When they stop this stupid spending on building and building, is all of us benefiting? When they ensure that we don't have no more removals of subsidies, is all of us, the pump don't ask if it's a Indo-Trinbagonian or Afro-Trinbagonian, you know? Makes sense now, Ollie. Makes sense. Makes sense. A coat of arms national symbol is supposed to reflect your people. And if a major amount of our people, number of our citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, feel as though they want another instrument to represent them along with the steeple, who cares? What is supremacy? Who cares? Let me get real now. Again, you a chance again.
Yeah.
Turn off your radio.
That's where she going now, what?
Boy,
Yes, now.
Where she going? I ain't going.
Where they must come out from by Mr. Dugomati? We don't care about coat, who put pan, and who put tassa. You looking for bread and butter issue, the real issue.
I want equal opportunity for everybody, right? And the same way I want my pan there, I like pan, not because I don't play tassa or whatever, I don't want tassa there. But the two of them, who cares? They could put 10 things there.
Yeah, and I tell she last one, and she program, woman hush your mouth now. And stop calling that racial behavior and who are blessed by the
Yeah, I ain't disrespecting anybody. And I wouldn't take it from that perspective, is love. Let us respect and love each other. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, peace up there upon you again, brother.
Quick, we come into our close.
Yeah, you dealt with this situation perfectly well, because sometimes you just have to understand people, you know. People ain't just drop from the sky, you know. There's real learning over all the years.
Yeah.
What does make come out your mouth? So you just have to understand people and try to speak to them gently.
Yeah, and it's love. Don't study that.
It's all love, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. I'm a blessed man.
Yeah, man. Right? It don't matter to me. Erase from your mind racial prejudice. If you look and you seeing be more than a human being, if the first thing you seeing is an Indian or African or wherever stupidness, then you need to go back to the clinic, test your eyes over, and clear it of that. Clear it. Clear it, because some of the most evil people I look at, sitting down in parliament, no care and love for me, is people who supposedly belong or come from the place I come from. I'm not on that. And whoever else come from, don't matter. It really does not matter. We are all human beings, brothers and sisters, one to another. What distinguishes us is the way that we behave, our philosophy, our principles. If the philosophy is about people, if the philosophy is about betterment of all, then I in that. I in that. The substance of the thing is what matters. Not the label. The label could say the best, this and that, and inside is garbage. Inside is poison. If I take a bottle of poison and I label it medicine, it becomes medicine. Come on, all you. Love all yourself. Love each other. Love each other. And I'm telling you, I love myself for who I am. And that's why I appreciate other people. Right? So we end for the day. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Love and blessings to everyone.
Bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You want to find something great to do with your Tuesday nights? You want to learn and understand the true reason for Jesus? Then join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. for the program. This